Indiana Jones, critical acclaim. People really, really like it. Yeah, I have been enjoying Indiana Jones a lot. Yeah, I really like it. It's the first couple hours, I was like, guys, the AI is so stupid. And it carries through. Like the AI is pretty dumb, even very dumb later in the game. But like amazingly enough, it doesn't actually hurt the game that much because the rest of the game is so good. Like the writing, the environments, the puzzles, it's actually really, really well done. So I'm not done with it yet, but I've been really impressed with it. It's one of those games where amazingly enough, like some of the shortcomings do not actually weigh it down as much as you would think. Yeah, as long as it's fun. Yeah, it's one of those games that's we talk about it a lot with different games, but like there's different things where if you imagine a scale, you know, a big scale, and that's how you're like grading the value of a game. If we have like, you know, ooh, the scale, and then it goes up, and then we have boop, boop. We have the little plate or whatever, plate, boop, bloop. And then, you know, this goes down and holds it. If we're evaluating the quality of a game, like Indiana Jones, yeah, the AI is pretty stupid. It's like right there. But then you have other things like the AI or the environments are really good and the story is really solid. The performance from Troy Baker is outrageous, like very, very good. Graphically, it's pretty solid. It's very heavy to run. Path tracing and ray tracing in general on it is not probably worth it to me, even running a 4090, but still it's impressive. There's all these other things, you know, the art direction, the music is really good. So you can look at it and it's like, yeah, there are downsides. It's heavy to run. The AI is pretty stupid. The combat's really clunky and stuff. But ultimately, there's a lot more good and positives than there are negatives. And so even though we can point at things that are bad, it's still a net positive. Like it's still going to be worth getting and worth playing. One of the dangers is when you're trying to critique something or look at something, it's really easy to just focus on a couple of the bad bits and ignore all this. But I'm really happy to see that there's enough good that it outweighs the bad. The problem with games like Star Wars Outlaws that have these same problems is that even with like, you know, bad AI, the performance wasn't very good, and then like the writing was meh and the characters were eh. Even with that, like there weren't enough good parts to outweigh the bad parts as it was at launch. And that's the difference. With indie though, there's enough good parts that it kind of tips the scale in that direction. I just don't like Indiana Jones that much. I can understand why some people would really dislike it, and it took me a little while to get into it, frankly. But the more I get into it, granted, I've been having a ton of fun going through the Egyptian part of the game, but I understand why some people might not like it. But I'm liking it the more I play it. It's sort of an acquired taste.